Hi guys, as usual, all the necessary links in the video description and my test system setup details also in the video description, although in this particular case that would be just a speaker and a set of my phones and my tablets. A few months ago I had reviewed Bugani Brief Pro and it was a blast. So when I got an opportunity to test Bugani Brief TT, this guy, I was immediately interested in hearing the smaller, cheaper speaker in the same lineup. This is, by the way, a new model, as Bugani Brief TT didn't exist when I was reviewing Brief Pro. So this guy is something new. It's $70 when ordered directly from Bugani and a bit more expensive in local shops here in Europe. It follows the same angled design language as Brief Pro, but this way it's smaller. If Brief Pro was portable mobile speaker, then this guy is basically pocketable. And I'm serious. Just take a look at the size comparison with my hand. So this is basically like that. And I would show you the size comparison with my phone, but I'm using it right now. So this is basically a barely bigger than the phone. This is 8-inch tablet, so it's very small. I can easily put that into my cargo pants pocket or into my jacket pocket or wherever. It really is pocketable. One thing that's new here is LED atmospheric lighting. Oh, by the way, let's turn the guy on so you'll see that. Yep. We have LEDs on both ends and they are changing colors. Yes. So that's something new. It wasn't available earlier, for good and bad, on Brief Pro. Now let's talk about the numbers, let's talk about the specification from the manufacturer. This guy is said to be able to push 60 watts. I am highly skeptic about that, although it does sound loud. It can go really loud and clean without any kind of vibrations, but 60 watts, man, that's a lot. It's supposed to be IP67 water and dust resistant, and that's something very nice, and I can actually believe that because that was the same thing for the larger guy. Those LED lights are RGB lights, so they are changing colors in a very nice and natural way. The internal battery time is specified as 2600 milliampere hours, and it should be good for 24 hours of playtime. And I can confirm that. When I was doing burn-in for the speaker, because yes, I did a normal, regular burn-in for that, I had to recharge the battery every other day. Because it was playing constantly. It was playing 24/7 all the time, and once in a while, once every day, I had to connect the charging cable here. Okay, we do have Type-C connector, and the Type-C connector is not only charging connector, and this is something very new and something that I really liked, because this actually works also as a regular digital connection for the internal digital to analog converter, meaning that you can connect this guy with USB cable to your tablet, to your phone, to your computer, and have a regular wired connection for your music. And yes, it does sound better, but I will talk about that in a minute. It's using two 50mm speakers on this side with the Bugani logo. One of them is here, the second one is here. And those guys here are acting as a passive membranes. As you can see, they are moving. You can bend them. It's hard plastic here, but you can move them. And they are working as a passive membranes to amplify the bass response from those speakers inside here. The speakers are actually full ranges. There is no dedicated treble driver. If you remember, the large Bugani Brief Pro had a separate tweeters. This guy has only two full ranges. Interestingly, 50 millimeters in diameter. Those are basically like larger headphone drivers. So that's interesting. And the last thing that I wanted to mention when I'm talking about the specification is the Bluetooth broadcast mode. That's a crazy mode where you can synchronize up to 100 of those speakers to be controlled by one of them. One of them will be master and you'll have 100 slaves, and you can control all of them when it comes to the volume, to pausing the tracks, playing the tracks. So basically you can synchronize a whole bunch of them and have it like, I don't know, disco or party mode. So this is interesting thing. Okay, now build. Let's talk about the build. I don't know if you already can see that, but this part here that is also working as a set of rubber legs underneath like that doubles as a strap. You can remove that, yeah, and you can carry the guy around using this strap. It's made of rubber and it actually does have some sonic benefits when you're playing it when it's carried. So let's put it back here. The build quality is exemplary. It's plastic, but everything fits perfectly well. Also, another thing that's an example for build quality is the fact that it does not vibrate even with the highest volume level. It's really loud then, but you will not have any single vibration coming from some loose parts inside or something that would be moving. So this is really, really good. And it actually tends to sound a little bit cleaner when listened with higher volume levels. As I've said, we have two passive membranes. Those guys are amplifying the bass. Honestly, I have no idea how to disassemble this guy. Probably we have some plastic latches somewhere around here, and probably I would need to remove this part like that, but my experience tells me that some of those latches wouldn't survive this kind of opening, and that's one thing. And the second thing is that usually if you do not have spare parts as new replacements after opening things like that, you will get some vibrations, because if you'll be placing some things again at the same place, but the parts will not be brand new, you will not get the same level of matching and then what? I'm missing the word here for robustness. It won't be as robust connection, as robust build as it was earlier. So let's talk about what we can see here. On the side with the speakers we have Bugani logo. This is actually a nice gold rubber. It's soft, but it should be quite resistible to elements. On the top of the speaker we have power on off switch, we have Bluetooth control switch, we have play stop buttons that also works as a receive call and call button, because this guy can be also used as a conference speaker. And here we have volume controls that double as a next track and previous track when you hold them for 2 seconds. Here we have USB-C port that doubles as a data connection, as I've said earlier. And on the bottom of the speaker we have one set of rubber legs and a set of regulatory information around here. Designed in California, made in China. Yes, the design is really, really good, and the build quality is also really, really good. On one of the sides, on this side, you can actually see that we have a second set of rubber feet, and those guys are rubber as opposed to this part, which is plastic. So basically the speaker can be also used in vertical position, not only in the horizontal position, and it does make it sound a little better. So let's talk about the positioning of the speaker. Positioning is crucial for best sound quality. I got best results in 2 situations. Absolute best was when speaker was vertically standing like that, on the floor of the room. I got clean bass, clean treble, good mid-range and right tonal balance for all bands. The second one was when speaker is carried in free air, though you should use rubber handle so you will not cover the speakers with your hand. So basically you shouldn't carry it like that because then you'll be covering the speakers. And it's very hard to remember about that because you could carry it like that, but then you have to check all the time that you're not touching, not covering this particular side. So it's better to use the rubber band here. Okay, standing on the desk like that, vertically, was it was a third place with clarity but less bass. And placing it vertically like that, but placing it horizontally like that made the mid-range a little bit shouty. So my impressions that will follow were noted in the first setup with the speaker standing vertically on the floor. I've also found that wired USB-C connection is an instant level up for clarity and transparency in the sound. But let's talk about details and let's start with the bass. Bass changes very much with burn-in. Right out of the box, the bass is slow and very sloppy, but with every hour it gets cleaner and faster. I think, like considering the bass comes from two 50mm drivers and the passive membranes, it's surprisingly strong and full. Remember that 50mm is basically the size of full-sized headphones drivers. So I expected zero bass and I got surprised. I suppose that the burn-in works very well for those membranes, for these elastic parts around here. Once they will get mechanically burnt in, mechanically meaning that they will be moving and moving and moving and moving, they are getting softer and the passive membranes are moving faster. So the bass is no longer sloppy, it's actually quite fast. But getting back to my description, the bass is warm, it's not super textured, and it's mostly mid-bass, as you would guess considering the size of the thing, but it sounds amazingly good for such a small fry. This guy is really small, the speakers are quite small, and it does output a real bass. Okay, mid-range. Mid-range is very natural and smooth. I kinda expected dry analytical class D vocals, but I got nice, slightly warm and neutral voices. I also expected little clarity, but again I got surprised. Everything, all words were easy to understand. In every single track, in every single song, it was very easy to understand what the singer is actually singing. Treble is smooth and a little rolled off. That's to be expected because we don't have a separate treble driver. But I also think that this was intentional, so that with higher volume levels, the top end wouldn't become sharp and make your ears bleed. So that's probably intentional, this roll-off. Now I can reach maximum volume and it's still okay. But for treble clarity, I would recommend regular volume levels as it balances nicely when there is less bass. Yes, these passive membranes will work better with higher volume levels because they will be moving farther and farther. So for the right tonal balance, for the best tonal balance to my ears, I would use it with regular, moderate volume listening levels. Okay, getting back to technicalities. Resolution. Remember that we are talking about Bluetooth portable speaker. Again, I expected basically nothing here, like from all portable speakers I can hear in the streets during holidays, and I actually got surprised again. I won't tell you lies about Bugani being resolution monster, but surprisingly, with regular listening volume levels, that peanut is really good. It's losing that with raising volume as the bass becomes dominant factor, masking other stuff. But for normal listening volume levels, that's actually a nice surprise. Soundstage. No soundstage at all. We don't have any soundstage at all, and that's obvious because we have two speakers, yes, so that's stereo, but they are so close one to another that this is basically like a point source of sound. So there is no soundstage at all, although it doesn't sound mono. It doesn't sound white, but if you know what I mean, the mono sound tend to be, at least with my ears, tend to be perceived like a point source that would be hanging in the middle of air. Now with those guys, I do not have any kind of sound stage, but then again, it's not like it's just a single point in space. So I guess that's okay. But then again, do not expect any kind of soundstage width, depth or height. Summary. It looked bigger on the photos, so when I was opening the small box, I felt like this will be a mistake. But I went with it, and since I remembered how much large Bugani Brief Pro, which is amazing by the way, changed after burning, I got my patience ready. I've placed the speaker between two large pillows and let it play for a week in a row, 24/7. And that was a good decision, as a week later emerged something significantly different and better than at the beginning. So this is not a hi-fi device by any means, but it lets you enjoy music in some random places. And once I removed the pillows and played it louder, my 20-year-old daughter suddenly teleported to me, saying, "What's that? It's nice, can I have it? I can have it, I need it, I want to have it for my trip next week, please, please, please." And in a way, this was her version of the review. I think it's, considering the size and the price, a rather good surprise. So if you need something like that, or you need a gift for a teen, then this guy looks nice, sounds nice, and it's different. It stands out from the crowd. And one more thing, I've also tried it for a conference speaker in the office, for some Teams group calls, and I have to admit that it ate raw all portable Jabra and Logitech units that we have there. It was bested by desktop Polycom units, but they were like almost 3 times the size. And there's also one more thing. My CEO saw that speaker and she actually thought that this is one of the company speakers, and she immediately wanted to replace her Jabra with that guy. Not because of the sound quality, because she's not very much into it, but because of the looks. This guy looks super elegant on your desk, and she wanted to have this particular guy in her office. So I had to explain that this is not exactly company property. Yeah, anyway, it's back here with me, and this also means that we will probably be buying, I'm sure that we will be buying one of those for our office. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching and have a great day, guys. I will try to assemble a simple sound demo, and if I manage to do that, I will publish it a couple of minutes before this video, before this full review. So this video will cover that, and you'll get notifications about that video, and I will link to the sound demo in the description as well. So thank you and have a great Thursday. See you next time.